Hold up. This is the playlist live
My name's Kalisha.
with Kalisha. Tap in, tap in, tap in, tap in.
Welcome back to the show, you guys. This is the playlist. My name's Kalisha, and this is episode 1 of, let's just say, thousands of episodes. So I'm really excited to jump into this interview. We have a special guest. I mean, I've been following this man for years, so I'm excited to finally be sitting down with him. Today, joining us, we have Maurice Moore.
What up, what up, what
What's
up?
up? How are you?
I'm amazing. How you doing?
Man, I'm incredible. I mean, it's so crazy, like a full circle moment. I remember discovering you through J Main, R&B.
J Main.
Amazing guy. And just hearing your music and then, following you all these years down the road. And we've talked about this, of course, off camera, during our personal conversations, the fact that you have such an organic, amazing fan base. And you've done little to no marketing. And it's just, how does that make you feel?
That feels good. I think it's like a testament to, how real the music is. It always comes from a really genuine place and from real stories in my life. I think it just resonates on that level more than anything. I'm obsessed with music, so I always put, micro details into it. So it feels really good. It feels good.
So walk us through your musical journey, because we've talked about a lot, but I'm sure there's stuff that I don't know and the fans don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my musical journey is a long one. It kind of started out the womb. My parents played everything around the house, especially, Shania Twain, which is super random. A lot of people are surprised when I say that. That's my favorite artist still to this day. Tupac, Jay-Z, Whitney Houston, T-Pain, like literally every genre. There's no genre untouched in my household. And so that was like the bedding for what ended up becoming me as an artist. And once I got to middle school, I started rapping, and that was my first time like ever making music for myself. And I would have rap battles at school at recess, and it was real competitive.
Why have I heard this rap?
Yeah, we would battle. We would really get down, and that was kind of my intro to the world of music. And over time, my sisters are all really incredible singers, so they really started to try to get me to start singing. But at the time, I was like, no, that's soft. I don't want to be singing. I want to rap. And they convinced me to do a duet of Chris Brown, Superhuman. And that was my first time ever singing. And I never thought I would do it again. But when I went to school the next day and I showed all the girls, I was like, all right, I'm a singer now. I'm a singer now.
Girls made me change your mind. So since then, have you ever rapped again?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, still in a lot of my music, I rap. A lot of my new music too, I'm rapping a lot on it. It's a big part of how I write my music. Even when I sing, I always felt like it was like singing, like rapping, but with melodies.
Exactly. I was gonna say, you're not like rapping like a 50 Cent.
Yeah.
You're not doing that kind of, but definitely like Juicy, for example.
Yeah.
So, we talked about this a little bit, but I want you to tell the fans for yourself, because you had a little bit of backlash, you said, on the Juicy record.
Yeah.
So tell the fans why you decided to go in that lane a little bit.
So, some of my fans were mad just because it was like such a left turn from what I've traditionally put out. Lots of R&B, lots of singing type stuff. But lately I've just been trying to experiment. That's really, for me with music, it's always been about exploring the depths of my own emotions, whether that's happy, sad, aggressive, angry. I really feel like that's the whole purpose of being an artist in this world, is you're supposed to go and push the boundaries of these emotions and explore them for people. So Juice is just another representation of my emotions. And I know it's my highest performing record on streaming in a very long time. So obviously some people are really resonating with it. But it's just another continuation of the story.
So moving forward, can people expect more music that sounds like that? Are they gonna see more of, the Day One fans wanting the old Maurice Moore back? We want the old Kanye back. We want the old Maurice Moore back.
Nah, you're gonna get a little bit of everything. I think from time I've been just making lots of different types of music, and it's gonna continue to be that way. Just don't expect the unexpected with me. Always.
Okay. So what you used the keyword expect, so that means something's coming.
Something's coming.
Okay, so tell us what's gonna be so special about the music that you're gonna be releasing soon.
Right now I'm just in a very experimental state. I've done so many different types of music throughout my career, including the stuff that I do for other artists as well. And this is just me kind of going along my artistic journey. You mentioned Kanye West. Kanye is one of my favorite artists. for precisely that reason. You know, he's
Mhm.
not scared to try new things and to push the
Definitely not.
boundaries. And that's exactly the type of artist that I feel like I am as well, where you really don't know what you're gonna get. You just know it's gonna be fire.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Expect the unexpected. I love that. And I think that's dope that even though you had like a mixed review about the latest release that you had, Juice, you didn't like conform and say, oh well, I'm not gonna do that anymore, because you also had a really positive review
Oh yeah.
from that as well.
Yeah, especially from new people who have never even heard of me before and just hearing me for the
Mhm.
first time. That's the
Yeah.
first record. And that was kind of my intention with it as well. Like just to really allow people who maybe wouldn't have found me through the R&B space, they might find me through another back door, you
Exactly.
know? So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So speaking of, those fans that don't know who you are and they may just be learning of you, they might be seeing this interview, be like, yo, he's dope. I like his look. He's sexy.
Thank
And then
you.
go and check out your music. Tell them about yourself. Like, where are you from? Like, what do you feel like you represent as an artist?
I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. I was actually born in the US, so I'm a dual citizen,
Me
which comes in
too.
handy. Oh, you're dual
Woohoo.
citizen?
Yeah,
Oh,
Australia and America.
Australia.
Yeah. Wasn't born there, but my mother was. So
That's dope.
she was like, I'm gonna get her dual citizenship. And with everything going on, it might be like, bye.
Yeah,
We'll move.
yeah.
Like, nah.
I'm coming.
Come on, let's go.
Where I'm from in Canada, there's not a lot of artists that have broken through the noise and gone mainstream. So for me, being an artist where I'm from is like such a crazy thing to be able to say. When I go home, people are like, how do you survive? Like, this is what you actually do. And I'm like, yeah, this is my job.
Yeah.
And I think for me, back home, that's really what I do it for. I really do it mostly for the people to see what is possible, regardless of where you're from, regardless of the circumstances. Like, you can really create and be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
So my music, like I said, it's always eclectic, because where I'm from, we never had that one sound or one kind of vibe that represented the city. It was always an amalgamation of so much different stuff. And to me, a lot of Canadian artists are like that, like Drake, for example, The Weeknd. There's no genre. There's just
They're
good
just doing
music.
it.
Just
They're
good
just doing it.
music.
So I heard, and I don't know if this is true, it could or could not be, but I heard in Canada they give grants to artists for music that want to pursue a music career.
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
that's a real thing?
That's a real thing. Actually,
What
that's what
Can they give
kickstarted
me
my
some money
career.
too? Really?
When I was going into high school, I was in 8th grade going into high school. My mom showed me this flyer. It's called the Summer Company Business Grant, and it was for like young kids to go and apply. I had to put together a whole business plan. That business plan was for a recording studio, which was like huge for my career, because I launched the studio and started being able to make money recording other artists in the city.
What?
And that was the same studio that really I started crafting my own sound and learning how to mix and produce and make my own music. And so definitely that's a big part of Canada, and shout out to Canada for that, because that definitely changed my life.
Yeah. That's awesome. So all you Canadian artists out there that are trying to pursue your dreams and do your thing,
Take advantage.
yes, take advantage of that. Like,
Yeah.
do it. I mean, I don't think in the States they do stuff like that.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't
they
think so.
definitely
Maybe
don't.
like business loans or something like that. But
exactly.
yeah.
Just give me your money. I'll give it to you, but gotta give it back.
Yeah.
Because the grant you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay back.
It's yours.
Man,
Yeah.
and that's in a lot of Commonwealth countries. I know
Oh.
Australia. They're this. I don't know if they're the same way, but they do a lot of things to help. The citizens.
That's
They
interesting.
do a lot of that.
I wonder what that says about America.
So let's switch gears real quick. You talk a lot about doing, TikTok stuff and making TikTok content,
Yeah.
which, does draw a lot of new eyes, ears, fans in. But you don't only post music on there. You post all different types of stuff.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, how do you feel about making music for TikTok?
Like specifically for TikTok?
Specifically.
I mean, that's a thing. I mean, Juice was kind of not made with the intention necessarily of putting it on TikTok, but kind of as I was making it, it kind of clicked to me that this could be like a great TikTok song. I think, it's just like back in the day, people were making songs for radio. People were making songs shorter for streaming. I think nowadays that's just a new platform, and, people are consuming music there. So why not, make songs that could fit into that space for people to enjoy? It's just another medium for people to get their music out.
Yeah. So was that a strategy or something you wanted to do to connect to your fans more?
I was really resistant to TikTok in the beginning. Yeah, I wasn't like super excited about it. I never wanted to be on camera like dancing and like I just thought that was kind of corny. But over time, a lot of my friends and just hearing it constantly, like, you need to be on TikTok, I like opened my mind up to what it was. And after spending time on the app, I was like, yo, this is actually really dope. You know,
Mhm.
it's really fun. Like I was enjoying myself on the app more so than Instagram and other
Mhm.
platforms. Like I was actually having fun. So that was really what drew me to the platform, was just how fun it was and
Yeah.
how people were just really being themselves. It wasn't like overly polished.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, hey guys, this is me and this is it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For me, I think I'm number one, I'm totally uncoordinated. So I can't dance. Okay. I cannot dance. Don't ask me to dance. I tried it when I was younger. It didn't work
Yeah.
out. And then I think I feel like there's like so much that goes into like editing a TikTok and then the transitions
Yo.
and you gotta do this and do that. Was that like a struggle? Like
That was
starting
a
out
struggle.
TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had, it took me a while to kind of get a hang of it, but I feel like now, like literally right now, like this
Mhm.
week, I'm starting to get the hang of it.
Yeah.
It's been a process, but you know, it's just like if you grew up with Instagram, to us, that's just like
Yeah.
that's easy.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
do
Maybe I'm
anything.
just getting old.
We just getting old.
Hey, you're supposed to agree with me. So, what's your most viral video that's been on TikTok? Like,
um,
what do people respond to the best?
People respond to humor the best in my experience. I've done like little skits where like I try to slide my music in and kind of tell it in a funny way.
Mhm.
People love that. People also love just like simple stuff. Like I've had clips that were just in my camera roll from my real
Mhm.
life, and I've just uploaded it on TikTok, and they've gone like millions of views.
Wow.
So I don't know what the science of TikTok is.
I don't think there's no
I
real
don't
science.
know. I don't know, but
There's no
it's
real
really
science.
interesting. It fascinates me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah. I think you should like take your TikToks and like make something and put in a like a music video or something. I don't know, something fun.
that's fire.
I'm about to put the marketing ideas.
Kalisha coming
Excuse
through.
me. All right. So switching gears again, I want to get more deeper into the music for those day one fans. 4 years ago, you released Amber's Room. It's
Yeah,
been 4 years. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Time flies. How do you think that project changed your career or
Oh
what do
my
you
God. Yeah, that was a huge part of my life, in my career. You know, at the time I was just starting to work very closely with Kaylani, and
mm,
that was like another chapter of my life that kind of put me in front of so many new fans and so many new people. And so the Amber Room, I had a lot of pressure on me. Like people were really finally paying attention, and I had to deliver. And so that project, I went to Atlanta to work with this producer named Troy Taylor. He's a
shout out
legend.
Troy Taylor?
Shout out Troy Taylor.
Yeah.
He's done everything from like Whitney Houston to Tyrese, Trey Songz.
Yup.
And that was my first time being in the studio with like a big time producer like that. And you know, it was kind of like validating in a way, because you know he really believed in my vision and helped me kind of piece it all together. And the
Yeah.
fans really loved that one. That one was really like a story from top to bottom. The sequencing, the if you listen to it, you'll hear like each song kind of blends into
Yeah.
each other,
Yeah.
and that was all intentional and all very strategic and calculated. Because for me, with music, like I mentioned earlier, artists like Kanye West and Frank Ocean and um, David Bowie, like these artists to me are always telling a very deep story, and even a simple song in the context of a whole album can have so much meaning.
Oh
So
yeah.
the Amber Room was a very important album to me, and I think a lot of my fans still to this day would say like that's one of their favorite
Yeah.
pieces for me.
Take one of the songs off of that project and give us a little backstory on it.
I have a song on there called June 21st. It's the first song on the album, and my birthday is June 25th. I'm a Cancer.
Uh-huh.
So June 21st is the summer solstice, which is the first day of summer. And I was trying to just set the scene of, here we are, the summer has just begun, and this is a whole summer romance kind of from beginning to end kind of taking
Mhm.
place. And to this day, I still, every June 21st, my fans just go crazy. Like, oh
Really?
my God, I'm listening to this 2021, 2022, 2023.
Wow.
And, you know, for me, like the summer has always been so significant of a time in my life. Just, it's my birthday, but, you know, I've made so many memories. Every summer has always
Yeah.
been like, especially back home where I'm from in my
Mhm.
city in Ottawa, like that's where I had my first crushes, my first love, you know, so many firsts.
Yeah.
So June 21st kind of was symbolic of all those firsts, and really kind of set the tone for the whole album.
Do you see yourself ever going back to Canada or you here?
I think I'm here. I definitely, I'm probably going to go back for the holidays to see my family. But I love LA, and I love just being able to be around this like scene and this creativity. But that's home, and it
Yeah.
will always be home. I always go back. There's nothing like a late night drive in Ontario, Canada.
Right.
There's nothing like it, you know.
Yeah.
Especially in the winter time, it's a different energy. I make my best music there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get it. You know, here is where you need to be for music, and
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you need to take care of is the business side of things. But you can always go back and visit, and,
Yeah.
you know, hang out there. You're going back for the holidays,
I'm
right?
going back for the holidays. In a perfect world, like what in the future, like I want to have a property in Canada. I want to have a property in LA, a
Yep.
property somewhere in Europe.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
look at you.
you know what I'm saying? This is,
Okay.
you
All right,
know,
wait. What's your background? Tell us your background.
I'm black, white, Native American, and Cuban. It's kind of a clusterfuck of different things. But you know, that's a big part of even just who I am as a person, because for me growing up, I never saw boundaries between human beings
Right.
because of race or color or culture. Like I literally, my stepmother is Haitian.
Wow.
My stepdad is Jamaican. And my dad's stepmother is Korean. So
You got a lot going on.
there's
I
so
like
much,
that.
and it was always harmonious. You know what I'm saying? Everyone always
Mhm.
got along, and we'd have music playing at the house, and everyone was having a good time. And so for me, like going into the world now as an adult and coming especially to the US and seeing all this tension between all these races and different people,
Mhm.
like I don't understand it. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like I've
Mhm.
always seen this like kind of harmonious connection between human beings. And so being mixed race for me is a big part of who I am and how I see the world. And a big part of
Right.
even as an artist, how I want to leave my legacy behind is kind of help enlighten people to the fact that, yo, we are all literally from the same place. We are
Yeah.
all from the same source,
Yeah.
and we're all human at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
I think it allows people that are used to being around different cultures and different types of people. It allows you to be more like collaborative and welcoming to other people around you. I think that's why you're so blessed and successful, is because you know how to deal with different types of people, different cultures. I feel like that I'm saying that because that's how it is for me. I'm the same way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
my dad is Sri Lankan, my mom is Greek and Australian, his wife is Indonesian. Like
Wow.
it's like, so I get it, and
Yes.
it gives you a different mindset
Mm-hmm.
of how you think and conduct yourself. And then again, no shame to anybody, but not being American too gives you that different
Yeah, yeah,
mindset,
yeah.
a different way of thinking. You know, especially in Hollywood and LA, a lot of people are very like out for themselves,
Yeah.
all about them. Like, have moving here, have you seen a lot of that?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely what they say about Hollywood is true, but you know, for the most part, I've been fortunate to be connected to, and this is another part of what I believe is, you know, the universe will give you what you are.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are kind of putting out the energy of negativity and of division, then
Mm-hmm.
that's what you're gonna get. And I try to always lead with like, yo, let's connect, let's create, let's
Mm-hmm.
collaborate, let's share ideas and information. So I've been really fortunate. You know, a lot of the people I've connected with out here are really genuine and really dope,
So,
and it's been dope. It's been really good.
so who have you connected with? Who have you worked with? You mentioned earlier that you've done stuff for other artists. What have you done? Let's talk about it.
Man, I've done a lot of stuff out here, specifically in LA. I've worked a lot with her.
Oh my
I've worked a lot with
God.
Justine Sky, Kaylani, and you know, even all the way across the world in Korea. I've done a lot of K-pop songwriting as well. And you know, as a songwriter, I've started to now collect some plaques as well. You know, some platinum
Yes.
ones
Tell
here
me
and
which
there.
ones. What flags have you got?
So I just did a song for this guy in Korea. He dropped an album called Magenta, and I had the single on that album, and it just went platinum.
Wow, congratulations.
So thank you for that.
Yes.
I did some stuff for EXO, which is, you know, a legendary K-pop group that went platinum as well.
Wow.
Lay, who's the lead singer in EXO, I did a solo album as well. Honestly, it's a lot. Like we
Yeah.
could talk all day about the K-pop
And so
stuff.
did you just do stuff for them, or do you guys have music together, or?
So I don't have music with those K-pop guys yet, but we've been talking about it.
Okay.
So I'm planning to go
That's
there in the
major.
new
That's
year.
a whole different market.
Oh, it's so cool too.
That's yeah.
It's
Like
so dope.
BTS, their fans
Oh
go
my God.
crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I just posted a tweet just now, actually. I had a K-pop song come out today that I wrote.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's called Okay by
Okay.
NCTU.
Go listen, stream that, download it.
And that just went platinum the first day.
Wow.
So when I go back to Korea in the new year, we'll probably be locking in some new music.
That's amazing. Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you say that your stepmom is Korean?
My So to me, she's my grandmother,
Oh,
but
okay.
my dad's stepmom.
Your dad's
Yeah, yeah.
stepmom. Full circle.
Full
That's
circle.
dope. Does she know?
Yeah,
Or
she knows. She
that's
knows.
so cool. How does
Yeah,
she feel?
she loves it. I mean, she called me last time I was in Korea and was trying to give me some like tips on how to like go out there and interact with people and
Yeah.
different things I should do. So that's really cool, you know. And I grew up like experiencing, you know, even Korean food and Korean cultures. So it was cool to actually go out there and experience it like for
Yeah.
myself, for real, for real.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So a little birdie told me that you were working with an artist, and I'm gonna let you tell the story, but you're working with an artist and it was one of your dream artists that you always wanted to do a feature with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know who you're talking about. I feel like
You were recording at her house and she had a whiteboard. And what
Oh,
did you see
yes.
on that whiteboard?
Oh
This
my
was such
God.
an amazing story that you told me.
I saw a vision board with a bunch of artists that am I allowed to say the name?
If you can. Okay, just don't give away the artist. Just tell the story.
So I went to her house. Her husband reached out to me and let me know that they were fans and that they wanted to work. So I went over to their house, and when I walked in, I was early to the session. I'm always late, but I was early to the
You
session
were really excited.
because I was really excited. And this person I grew up listening to my whole life. So when I got there, I noticed there was a whiteboard that had like dream collaborations, and I saw my name on the list, and that just like blew my mind. I couldn't believe that somebody that I grew up admiring and studying and like, why is my name
It's
on
a big
it?
name, y'all. It's a big
You know,
name, okay?
And
Let me tell you.
she's gonna be hopefully we can get it cleared, but she'll hopefully be on the album, and we've been working together quite a bit recently. So I really want to say the name.
His album or yours?
It's I did one for hers and she did one for mine as well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So how did that make you feel? Did that change your mindset in any way of like where you're destined to be?
Definitely. It just lets you know that you never know who's listening. You really never know. Like sometimes you're making music and you feel like, oh damn, like no one cares or whatever. Because for you, you know, your whole life is your music, is my art. So compared to that, it feels like, does anyone really care that much?
Yeah.
But you know, it surprises me, you know, every day when I go out in LA and speak to people who have heard of my music and who are fans. I'm just like, oh my God, like what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I remember I was in a meeting with your manager and we're talking and we're chit-chatting about different artists, and he's like, yeah, there's this artist, you know, that I'm working with, Maurice Moore. I was like, the artist Maurice Moore? I was like, I know who that is. I've been following him for a long time. And then like here we are today.
Here we are.
So I want that to be another reminder for you.
Oh.
You know, just to keep going. Like you said, you never know who's listening. You never know who's watching. Like I've gone back for years to YouTube listening to your music, to streaming platforms, to all of that. Just, you know, having a favorite song of yours. So Loudest Silence. Yes, that record right there is incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible.
And I
like,
made that in my mom's basement when I was 17 years old.
Wow, and it's still going crazy.
It's still going crazy.
Crazy.
I had no idea it would ever do that.
Yeah, it's always that one record, right?
Yeah.
It's always that one. So what inspires your music? What inspires you to make music?
I would say life inspires my art. Life in the sense of what I'm physically going through, but also, you know, the stories that I hear from people close to me, the movies that I watch. I consider myself a storyteller. You know, my whole crew, we call ourselves the storytellers. And that's really why, because I believe that storytelling, you know, even if you go trace back to the ancients, storytelling is what keeps our culture alive. It's what keeps our stories alive. And so for me as an artist, I try to always tell the stories that maybe some people are not able to tell for themselves. And sometimes even me, there's things that I go through that maybe I feel like I can't talk to anybody about it. Music is like this neutral therapist that I can be like, okay, listen, this is what's going on. I don't know what the fuck to do about it. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it.
You're good.
So yeah, I'm a storyteller through and through. That's what I do in my music. I tell stories, and I think the inspiration for the most part comes from life and comes from emotions. I'm not scared to go there. I'm not scared to go to the deepest, darkest place of my mind and put it on a song for people. Yeah,
just say it raw and real. That's what people want to hear. That's what they like, because they want to feel like they can feel you. You know, that they're like, dang, I'm going through that same shit. God damn it. But I want to point out your record Ain't Easy. On that record, you talked a lot about like what you're going through and your emotions, and how do you keep yourself motivated when going through stuff like that?
Um,
And what exactly were you going through?
I mean, growing up in my city, I didn't grow up in the greatest of neighborhoods, and a lot of friends that I grew up with, unfortunately, passed away from gang
Mm,
violence and drug violence. And for me, I always consider myself, I never like wear the flag of, you know,
I'm from the hood.
yeah, I never really was that type of person, because
Yeah.
to me, I feel like I'm so much more than where I was born or where I was
Hmm.
from in those circumstances. But Ain't Easy was kind of like my way of addressing certain things that maybe it took me a long time to kind of come to terms with. Um, I never really had like a therapist or somebody to really talk about those things with,
Hmm.
especially being in the music industry and traveling. I'm rarely home. So
Yeah.
the people that I would talk to about that, I don't really get to see them as much as I would like to. And so Ain't Easy was just talking about those people that, were really close to me that I lost throughout the journey. And, that's another reason why I do this. I think what keeps me going is the fact that growing up, everyone always looked at me as like, yo, you have greatness within you, and you need to go do that. When all the crazy stuff was going on, all the gang
Yeah.
stuff, everyone like, no, Maurice,
Yeah.
stay out of this.
Hmm.
Like, you're gonna, I was a football player growing up, so you're going to the NFL, or no, you're gonna be a star, bro. Like, get out of here.
How does that make you feel like coming up, like people seeing that in you? Like, oh yeah, I could definitely see you doing that. Like, no, you're a star. Because we're in our own bodies, right? So sometimes it's like we don't see that sometimes
Yeah,
in ourselves.
it feels good. It feels like an expectation that, or maybe even sometimes like a burden that is like
Mm.
on your shoulders. You're like, damn, I have to live up to this expectation that people have of me. But the positive side of that for me is the fact, my parents growing up really kind of instilled that mindset in me that I could do anything. And they
Hmm.
never told me, no, don't do music, don't try to be a football player, don't don't pursue things
That's
that aren't
awesome.
normal. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
They always encouraged it. So I think having that in combination with all the things that I went through is like the ultimate recipe for just like ambition,
yeah,
just pure ambition. And I don't think it'll ever go away. I think even when I have billions of dollars and whatever, I don't think it'll
yeah.
ever go away. I sometimes I always say I have a song on my upcoming album called Deep, and one of the lyrics I say is the hole inside of my soul is so deep.
Mm.
And it sounds kind of sad and dark, but in a way it's what keeps me going.
Yeah,
It's like this will be a void that will never be filled,
yeah.
and I will just have to keep
Want
going
more and
forever.
more and more. That's the thing with this industry, this music industry. It's never the end. It's
It's never the
not like
end.
being a doctor where you go to school, you get your degree and then you do your residency and then you're a doctor and then okay, I'm a doctor. I made it. Like it's
That's it.
not like that in this industry.
No. And
It's
I
really not.
I love that though. It
Hmm.
started for me in sports, and that was always what motivated me. It was like I would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to this big hill in my city. It was a huge grass hill, and I would put on my cleats and sprint up the hill,
Wow.
20 times, and I would do this all like every day.
Hmm.
And that work ethic is to me like what carried over into the music that I think is every artist could benefit from that
Yeah.
that level of ambition. So, I'm grateful for that and for all the experiences that kind of instilled that into me.
Hmm.
But shout out to football as a sport,
Yeah.
because
Determination,
oh my
consistency,
gosh.
all that.
Yeah.
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 Did you ever have a backup? Like, if this don't work out, I'm gonna whatever.
Never. No. I just don't
Really?
believe in that.
I agree.
I believe in the power of your mind. Like, when you have an image in your head, if you can picture it in your mind, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
It's real. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
matter of you like sitting on the train and letting it take you to your destination. You can hop off and you can go check out a different area for a
Right,
little bit,
right.
but at the end of the day,
Get
this
back on
train
it.
is here,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want to get on it, it'll take you where you want to go. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, it's like, why would I have a plan B? This is what I want. I'm just gonna sit on the damn train and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. We're like literally in the last 2 weeks of the year.
Yep. Yep.
The last 2 freaking weeks. I cannot believe that.
2021.
That's crazy.
Good riddance.
What do you feel like? Do you feel like all the goals that you set for yourself this year that you've either accomplished them or you're almost there? Have you done it?
Yes. Not all of them. Not all of them. And that's another part of the journey too, is like you set big goals for yourself, and sometimes the timeline for it is like you underestimate how much work it's gonna
Yeah.
take. one of the goals that I didn't accomplish this year, because a lot of them I did creatively. I felt like I accomplished every goal. I made 4 albums this year. They're
Yes.
coming out next year.
Yes. Stay
Um,
tuned.
but I wanted to have 1 million monthly listeners this year. That didn't happen.
Mhm.
And for me,
But it
that
will next year.
oh, it will.
Mhm.
But no, I just wanted to talk about that because like I think it's so in the world that we live in, everyone wants to always talk about their accomplishments and all the things that they've done. Like,
Yeah.
but I think it's good to also notice, sometimes you're not going to get the goal on the first try. Sometimes it's going to take repeated, times of you attempting to do it before you achieve that goal.
Yeah.
So, that's just an encouragement. Like I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. I got so much music coming out next year that I'm really
Mhm.
excited about, and so much art to give to the world. So, just never give up,
Yeah.
ever.
Don't ever
Keep
do it.
going. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Is everyone out there having a moment, maybe watching this, and you're like, man, I want to do what he's doing. I want to do what she's doing. Just remember that what's for you is going to be for you.
Yes. You
It's
said
literally,
you
yeah.
said you said something off camera. You were saying how it's your destiny,
Mhm.
and that really resonated with me.
Thank
And I
you.
thought about that, all last night,
Oh.
and I was thinking about, you never really lock in the mindset of this is my destiny, and then you will never actually get to where you
Mhm.
believe is your destiny.
Mhm.
If you believe that it's destiny, then it is.
Yeah.
It is. It doesn't require any hard work. I mean,
Facts.
it does,
Facts.
but the mindset,
You got to do the work.
you got to do the work. And if it's your destiny, then it is. It just
Yeah,
is.
it is.
And I think the sooner anyone accepts their destiny,
Mm-hmm.
the sooner they can just stop stressing out about the fact that they're not exactly where they
Yeah.
want to be. You just get on the train and just go.
It's for
It's
you.
your destiny.
You know, it's
That's
your
so
it's
powerful.
your destiny, and I truly believe that. I believe it.
Thank you.
I would never tell you that. I would not ever tell anybody that if I didn't believe that for them. It truly is, because I've literally watched you. I think it was like 2016 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, like 2016
That's
to like 6
crazy.
years, like I said, where I heard your music, and I've just you kept going. You
Mhm.
kept going, and you've just been growing and growing and doing your thing, like the way you
Oh, yeah.
brand yourself, the type of music that you put out. Like you said earlier, you're not afraid to just go there.
Mhm.
You're not afraid to just go there. And speaking of life, we were just talking about destiny, and there's this real thing called a circle of life. We were born, and then one day, unfortunately, life happens.
Mhm.
So what do you want people to remember you as? If there's one thing that they can look at you and say, I remember when he said this, or I remember when he did this or put this song out. Like, what do you want me to be remembered as?
I think my music is just one aspect of me as a person. I mean, it's a huge part of who I am, but I think ultimately, me as a person, I have so much that I want to tell the world, so many ideas I want to share with the world, and primarily, what we've been talking about today about, putting an image in your mind and just saying to yourself, this is my destiny,
Mm-hmm.
and following it regardless of what your environment tells you, waking up every morning and feeding yourself positive thoughts, feeding yourself
Mm-hmm.
the idea of this is for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the message that I want people to gather from who I am, and all that things and initiatives that I do in my life. I want them to see that and understand that I'm the living example of that idea.
Yeah.
You can be whoever you want to be. You can have whatever you want to have. The sooner you accept it, the
Mm-hmm.
sooner it can be.
Facts.
So yeah.
No, I love your mindset. I love the way you think, and I just love the fact that you are following, what you're destined to do. Absolutely, because you'll be surprised how many people I've run into, or just stories that I've heard. People give up on their dreams. Like, I've spoken to artists like online, and they're like, I just gave up on my dreams. Like, I can't afford it. And I'm like, man, you just do it. If it makes you happy,
Yes.
just do it. Even if you can't put like the marketing dollars behind it, if you can't, just do it because you love it. Like, you never know.
never know.
Like I told you, off camera, that if I gave up on what I wanted to do, like, I would have never been here. And with you, the same thing. We would have never met
The
It's
universe.
destiny.
It's destiny.
And it's been happening a lot, like lately to me, like just
Yeah.
full circle moments, like, growing up, listening to people or discovering people and then like meeting them and like having a face to face. Like I remember having Trey songs on my wall, like a picture, and like Omarion on my wall. And there was, I
Yes.
think, Bow Wow. And now
Bow
like I
Wow.
know all of them. I've
Yes.
met them all. Like I have their phone numbers. Like we're cool.
Yep,
We're
yep.
homies, whether we're working together or whatever. Like it's insane.
The
So
power of the mind is not a joke.
yeah,
It's
like
not a
I
joke.
just was like, damn, I had them on my wall.
Yeah, you're
I
like,
don't even
oh,
like them like that anymore. Okay, it's just work.
Yeah.
But man, like, what, before we go, have you ever had a moment like that where you were like, dang, like, other than people that you've worked with,
Mhm.
just someone that you're like, I really want to fuck with them, and you are like working with them, or you know them now, they're your friend.
Yeah, I mean, Kaylani is a great example of that. When this was around 2016 actually, when I first met her, and I was a really big fan of her because I felt like she was close to age as me, and she was putting on for R&B in a time where like R&B, a lot of people were saying R&B is dead.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so the music that she was making resonated with me because I felt like we were on the same mission, and I think that's ultimately what brought us together was, we were both trying to fight for this sound and this energy and these stories. And so when we met, it was just a full circle moment.
Yeah.
And to me, like, the friendship just was instant. It was just like what
It's
you
a
were talking about,
connection. Yeah.
because that's the power of the universe. What you think you will attract. And so here I am in front of somebody that I really looked up to and really admired, and she's suddenly my friend, and we're making music
dope.
together. It's just weird,
That's so
how it
dope.
works.
Yeah.
But that's why you gotta get the mind right first.
100%.
Yeah.
So for the new fans that are just learning of you and discovering you, where can they follow you at and stream your music?
So you can follow me on Instagram at Maurice Moore. On Twitter, it's Maurice XIII. That's the Roman numeral 13. That's my favorite number.
Yeah.
And yeah, everywhere, just Maurice Moore. Look me up.
Yes.
Tap in. My new single Juice is out now, so make sure y'all go check that out. And we got the album on the way in the new year.
Yes, for the day ones and the new fans, tap
You
in.
don't know.
Yes, I'm telling you, like, y'all, when I tell you this man's music is amazing, you'll listen, you're gonna be an instant fan just like that. And that don't happen with all artists. Okay, you gotta brainwash some folks to like some music. Okay.
No, hopefully we don't gotta brainwash.
No, not over here, not over here. But thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
joining.
so much for having me.
I really appreciate you being here and for your time and all
Thank
that,
you.
and just keep making amazing music. Seriously, it's your
Thank you.
destiny.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us today on the playlist. I really enjoyed you guys watching. Again, episode 1 of thousands. So make sure you tune into the next episode coming soon.